How are you?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing, Patrick?
Are you good? Hey, I'm collecting myself after being rattled with the sound check.
Well, we're glad you're
I
with
tend to
us.
I lose my cool every time I have to do something technical, and then I'm supposed to be all Little Mary Sunshine when it's time to go on the show. So it makes
Well,
my
that's
nerves go
why.
up and down.
Well, that's why you've got us young
But
whippersnappers
listen,
here to help you.
hey, I don't. I'd be completely dead without the whippersnappers. I think everybody knows that at this point. But dear, let's talk about what's going on
Yes.
in Texas for a minute. What
Yeah,
are you
let's do
thinking about
that.
what's going on in Texas?
First of all, it's an absolute tragedy. What's going on? To anyone who might be watching in Texas, you have our best wishes and solidarity, and we hope that you get the power and the heat on soon. Um, there's some great mutual aid groups doing some good work all around the state, and hopefully we can save some lives down there. One of the things I have been noticing, unfortunately, in a lot of the more centrist or liberal folks in our country have been getting a little too. They've been making light of the situation for folks down there, saying that maybe if they had only voted for Democrats, that things might be better in Texas. Which I don't think it's a nice idea to blame the victims who are undergoing this crisis right now, and I don't think that's a real good way to build class solidarity between folks. Um, because as we know, for one thing, voting Democrat or Republican doesn't make you deserving of the terrible things that are happening down in Texas right now. Second of all, we also need to remember that there's a lot of voter suppression down in Texas. So even if we did concede that voting Republican makes you deserving of this awful fate that a lot of people are going through down there, a lot of people are not represented in their government in Texas, and we need to keep that in mind. I think you have something along the lines of class solidarity to talk about. Isn't that right, Patrick?
Yeah, I do a little bit. Um, the biggest issue, clearly, for the last 400 years, and it's really become very visible lately, the biggest issue dividing the class, the working class, is white supremacy. And that issue, um, white supremacy has been the issue that divided the black working class and the white working class all along. And it's worked really slick for them for hundreds of years. What
Mm-hmm.
we're seeing is the unraveling of that division. And every time they make a move now, there's more and more black and white working class solidarity emerging. And what's going on in Texas is they've been masters at voter suppression forever, and they are still masters of voter suppression. And if they hadn't been masters of voter suppression, Texas would have went blue in this election. And it's very appropriate to blame Rick Perry and Ted Cruz and the people at the top of the Republican Party, as opposed to the white Texans who voted Republican or Democrat.
Absolutely.
Um, the white supremacy issue is clearly the biggest issue that's dividing us and preventing us from having a cohesive, united front against fascism. That's the one. That's the biggie.
Mm-hmm.
There are other issues, gay, straight. The trans issue is emerging as a very divisive issue. in um, keeping us from having a united front against fascism. So Stacey Abrams broke this shit up real good in Georgia.
Yeah.
And the other thing that has created more black white solidarity than anything I've seen in my lifetime is, of course, the murder of George Floyd. When
Mm-hmm.
millions and millions of white people, for the first time, got a little bit of photograph about how it actually is with many of the police and black community. Channel 9 had a great series last night. It was on for a couple of hours. It was all about driving while black. And I encourage people to pick that up on their public television network. It was very well done.
Mm-hmm.
A united front. I want to say a couple of things about a united front.
Yeah.
Then we'll
Shoot.
get into our program. Um, a united front is comprised of all kinds of memberships, groups, organizations that are working class organizations. And a united front doesn't mean that you drop all your visibility or demands. When you're marching in a united front against fascism, you march with your group and you raise the issues that are pertinent to your organization or group, and you're absolutely allowed the right to do that. It's
Mm-hmm.
not that you have to subvert your issues to some larger cause. So everybody who's working in a united front against fascism is welcomed to bring their issues forward.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the other thing that is important about a united front against fascism is that the leadership of the united front, the people who are calling for the united front, organizing the united front and pushing it forward, have to be of and for the working class. They
Yeah.
can't be liberals. They can't be, excuse me, Democrats.
The, the,
They
the,
have to
the, the,
be,
the middle class, the bourgeoisie, as it were.
yeah, they can't be coming from there. The leadership needs to be coming from the most oppressed, and the most oppressed need to be visible in the leadership, and the organization needs to be solidly and staunchly backed by the working class and uh, not infiltrated with um, petty bourgeois and bourgeois interests.
The liberals
Um,
have, if they have a place in a united front, but they gotta be following the concerns of the most oppressed. You know.
there you go. That's exactly right. Um, it's a matter of visibility and leadership and ideology and politics of the organizations that are putting the united front together.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't have to drop your individual identity or demands in a
Mm-hmm.
united front against fascism. I will say that the Democratic Party's emphasis for the last 50 years on identity politics as opposed to working class politics has created much division in the working class, and is one of the reasons that white people, particularly white men, white working class men, who are part of the working class and included in the struggle, because of the issue of identity politics being so solidly moved forward into the Democratic Party, they feel like they don't have a place and have been forced out, and that's not doing us any good.
Now that's if we separate identity politics from class politics, then that just funnels a lot of working class white people towards fascism, and we wanna counteract that.
Then exactly. But hey, maybe that's enough of wrapping ideology for a minute, but this
Yeah.
is an anti-fascist concert series, and we're talking about how to fight fascism, and
Mm-hmm.
we're going to get into those issues. But to get our program going,
Yeah. Who we got?
speaking of visibility from the most oppressed, let me introduce to you Seattle's newest, hottest lesbian power couple. Yes, Stormy Weber and Tori Trujillo um, are going to be our first performers. I've known Stormy for a long time, longer than either one of us care to admit. And I'm newer to knowing Tori, but both of them are militant activists. Stormy has been in the leadership of Seattle's arts community lately and put on a show called Casino, wherein she was honoring, actually venerating her Alaska Native ancestors and the contributions that they made. And Tori Trujillo is a fabulous vocalist as well as other kind of art. And the last show that Tori Trujillo did that I saw was her doing harmony with Holly Near. Whoa. And after she did harmony for Holly Near, she did harmony for me. Whoa. Get past my smelling salts. Here we are, Stormy Weber and Tori Trujillo in the leadership of the struggle against fascism. Hi, darlings. I love you.
Hi,
Go.
Patrick. Oh, what a privilege and an honor today to open this set, these sets, this series. Patrick, thank you so much for the invitation. Aaron, thank you so much for your part in all of this as well. I am Tori Trujillo. I'm two spirit, mixed blood. I'm the granddaughter of Mexican migrant farm workers and Dutch settlers. I'm a healer, a supporter of healing. My main modalities are massage and energy work and sound healing that I use in various ways. I am joined here by my beloved Stormy Weber, who you'll hear from in a little while, from Seattle. And we would like to acknowledge that we are on the traditional land of the first people of Seattle, the Duwamish people, past and present, and honor with gratitude the land itself and the Duwamish tribe. Aho. My homeland is Holland, Michigan, colonized by the Dutch on land stolen from the Potawatomi, the Odawa, and the Ojibwe. And I'm going to open with a song today that you'll recognize. It's Blackbird, written by Paul McCartney in 1968. He attributes one reason to writing this song as a response to the struggles of Black people in the United States during the Civil Rights Movement. I want to be careful not to center him as a white male in acknowledging that he wrote this song, but rather to focus on um, the opportunity for allies to use their platforms and privileges to support the struggles of anti-racism, anti-fascism, all of the ways that we're fighting for equal rights for equal resources for all humans. The arrangement that I'm going to sing today is by Dion Ferris. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly all your life. You've always waited for this moment to arrive. Mhm. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these sunken eyes and learn to see all your life. You've always waited for this moment to be free. Mhm. Blackbird fly, blackbird fly, blackbird fly into the light of a new dark night. Oh. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly all your life. You've always waited for this moment to arrive. Mhm. Blackbird fly, blackbird fly, blackbird fly. Ooh. Into the light of a new dark sky. Thank you.
Thank you, Tori. It's beautiful. Thank you. Yes. So, welcome everybody. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you, Jack. Thank you for the technical support and for the invitation. This important moment in time is very, very, very vital that we find our community and that we speak out, because we got rid of one guy, but the threat is not over. It's just over a month ago that there was a white supremacist terrorist attack on the Capitol. And compared to the Black Lives Matter um, retaliation, a lot of people were just let go because whiteness always forgives itself. White supremacy always finds itself innocent. The recent impeachment trial reminded me a great deal of the old Southern trials, and I'm not the only one to say that. You see them smile as they're found innocent every time. So I would also like to say that um, I encourage us to consider everything now. For example, the land acknowledgements, which we made, which is so important. And I only recently learned that the land acknowledgement is the first step. The next step involves giving the land back. The next step involves returning governance to indigenous people. That's what land back means, right? And there are so many levels on which we need to unite and fight what's happening. Yes, we have a new president. I also just read that ICE is not only the ICE facilities in Texas are still holding migrants, and the ICE fascist guards are directing cold air with fans onto some of our relatives that are being held in solitary. So there's so many different ways that we have to stand together and we have to fight. So it's my honor to be here. Also, on a personal note, yes, Patrick is my relative. And Patrick one time called me a gutter snipe. So I just want to say I'm a proud graduate of Gutter Snipe University. I grew up in the gay bars with my mother. That was my first artist residency, talking to all y'all community in the 1960s when the lesbian gay community was centered in the bars. My mother came out in the 50s. So it's my joy to do this work. I would like to share a piece and forgive our That's a smoke detector which makes sound when she feels like it. So that's just her. I think she's doing some kind of backup thing over there, but we didn't actually work it out at first. So I hope you enjoy it. So what I'm going to share with you today is a piece from my book, Blues Divine, which I have both in book form and CD form. And this is a piece that directly looks at musical cultural resistance. Specifically blues music. Blues music was born from African rhythms and song and spirit, and the rhythms and song and spirit of the indigenous peoples that were here. One of the most famous early blues musicians was Charlie Patton. He was black and Cherokee. So we have this also, Lightning Hopkins, many different people. So anyway, this one is called Ode to Blues. So I thank you. Save thus far, the blues has brought me through. This I know to be true. Yes, it was nothing but the blues. Hey, yeah, the gut bucket. Stomp down, shoot out the lights. It's too damn funky in here. On blues. The well is a real motherfucker. What's thrilling you is killing me, say, 'cause your worries ain't like mine. Blues reaching back, way back to where in Africa a moan rose and spiraled across the Atlantic to this strange land where we were enslaved and our drum outlawed. Fools never thought to be concerned with what they called darky songs. Too simple to know what those songs was telling us who was running that night, when, where, why, how. Blue gospel told us what we needed to know. Steal away, steal away home. I ain't got long to stay. Yes, we did. And not to know Jesus, let us now praise the blues deep in the deep of the dark, of the darkest night. Barefoot through the swamp, can't see your hand in front of your face, neither that cotton mouth easing up on your sweet baby girl, knowing that Harriet kept that pistol in hand for the weary and the fearful, while nothing but the blue woo woo woos could explain how to go on through. Don't say nothing to me about pilgrims or pioneers. I got your profiles encouraged, my fellow Americans. That soul music was comforting, rolling, winding, soothing through our spirits somehow. And most would have just laid down and died. And you know that is the stone truth. Paddy rollers on horseback in hot pursuit, hounds just a band, and those hoops and hollers those white men had let out when they get to thinking about the reward money or how much somebody called a likely wench or a strapping buck might fetch at auction. Now, as if slavery wasn't enough, as if manifest destiny wasn't enough, as if genocide wasn't enough. Surely that would make a body feel the low down blues. Make those start those blues flowing just like that Ohio River we only had to get across to freedom. So all I can say is hail the blues, queen bee of music, mother of all North American music roots. Blues, hey, you made a way out of no way. Blues, oh blues. You made my back strong, my heart not fall, splintered and tore up out my chest. My feet take that one more step. No, if ever a song could rise and take form, it would have to be you. Oh, blue, black, mighty tone, the way you held me. Nobody knows the trouble I've seen. No, nobody, yeah, but you, yeah, hollering like a mountain jack. When I hear you, I know you. And I know I'll be all right by and by. Same way you held my mama and hers before and all, reaching back in your eternal arms. Oh, blues, I love you. Be you moan, shout, shuffle, or stomp, I'm there. Turquoise, lapis, sapphire, indigo, sea, and sky. Let me count the ways you appear in my heart and to my wondering eyes and ears. Oh, I feel you, oh song of my deepest soul, rising from back, way back from Africa to Houston, Texas, Plain Dealing, Louisiana, Mississippi, and let us not disremember sweet home, Chicago. Oh, I said, come on, baby, don't you want to go to where the blues amplified herself so as to rise above the din of the L train, the stockyards, and the steel mills, home, sweet home of storefront churches pumping blue gospel, or is it gospel blues onto the urban prairie and the juke joints just a juking on. The juke joint's just a juking on, yeah. Why, but before we ever marched with eloquent signboards, Muddy threw back his head and roared, yeah, I'm a man. And Miss Coco Taylor pitched her wang dang doodle set all night long. Listening from a place deep inside where the tone meets the note in candlelight warm, meets the note, encounters the rhythm in a sweet sway of step. Hold me in your arms like a voodoo child, baby. Ooh. Blues, I love you. And I don't know why I say, but I swear I'm gonna love you till the very day I die. Let us now pray. Oh, the blues. Thank you.
Amen. A woman. Such good medicine, such good, strong medicine. Thank you, Stormy. Thank you again for the opportunity to be here today and to offer our gifts. And listening to what Stormy was saying about the blues and how it served to encourage people, to make people strong. I think of my own ancestors, specifically my grandpa and grandma, Martin and Marta Trujillo, who were Mexican migrant farm workers who traveled from Texas up to Michigan, working along the way and back for many years of their lives. I know they encountered racism. I know they encountered hatred. I know that as they were trying to raise their family, they were expected to do backbreaking work in the most inhumane conditions for housing. And I know that it required for them to draw upon things that could bring them strength and inner courage. Um, and they, I believe that they let that courage uh, guide them. They did eventually settle in Holland, Michigan, as one of the very first Mexican families who were able to buy a house and stay. They found a kind realtor who believed in everybody being able to buy a house, and because of that, they were able to stay and remain there for the rest of their days. And that's how you come up with me, a Mexidutchican. Anywhere else in the world, that's probably a rare combination. But in thinking of my grandparents, I think about the things that they drew strength from, including my grandma Martha's Christian faith in the Pentecostal church, but also how she blended it with her ancestral medicine of curanderismo and how she served her community in those different ways. And as we are in these battles for equality and justice and um, everyone having access to resources, I know that we get tired. We're tired for all of the reasons. We're in a pandemic. We see suffering and you know want to know how to help. I want to leave you here today with a balm, hopefully for your spirit, um, to support that healing and to support you at your times when you rest and regenerate. What you can't see just off screen is a quartz crystal singing bowl. I'll be playing that along with some vocal toning, and our smoke detector will continue chirping in the background. And I just welcome you. That's okay. I welcome you to take a deep breath, to fall into your body, to relax your muscles, to breathe in ease, and to exhale worry and anxiety and fear. And just receive this sound medicine. Thank you. Stormy, would you like to say anything in closing?
Just thank you. Stay strong, everybody. Take care. We'll make it. We'll stand together and we'll make it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you too much, Tori and Stormy. Loved it.
Yes,
Love you. You know that.
that was so beautiful and such a great bit of medicine. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Thank you.
So much our pleasure. Thank
Love you, Patty.
Bye for now.
Bye for now. Well, enjoy.
Au
Till
revoir.
next time. It'll be soon.
Okay,
next
until
time.
next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, Patrick. All right, up next we've got
Yeah, go ahead.
we've got an old friend of mine. The next artist we have is Mr. Oliver Franklin. Oliver Franklin is a singer, a songwriter, and guitarist from Seattle. We've known each other for years. I started out as a huge fan, actually. I got to see his old band, The Senate, perform in a little coffee shop bar in the University District of Seattle back in 2010, 2011. I was absolutely smitten. The Senate is a acoustic rock trio, and I was just amazed and blown away by their songwriting, their charisma, their musicianship, and since then, Oliver has put out multiple great records, When the Moon and The Last Man. The Last Man is legitimately one of my favorite albums of all time. You can quote me on that. Oliver is a good friend, and when I first decided I wanted to go on tour for the first time, he was the person I asked if he wanted to travel with me. So, without any further ado, I'd like to introduce y'all to Oliver Franklin.
Yay!
Hooray!
I think we need a little boost on Oliver.
Mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check. How are we doing? I'm going to keep talking. I'm going going to
Sounded good?
The okay. Sound good?
A
Should I keep
little,
going? I'm going to keep
a little
talking?
boost, a little boost.
All right.
Also,
Big
before
thanks- yeah.
before you start, I also do want to make note to all of our watchers and listeners. If you're liking the music that you hear, we're accepting tips via paypal.me/Aaron J. Shea. That is paypal.me/Aaron J. Shea. We'll send a link in the chat. All the tips are going to the artist today. Me and Patrick don't take a cut because we just want to support the great artists in our community and spread the good word about fighting fascism in the streets and in our hearts. And I think with that, Oliver, you can take it away.
I will take it somewhere. Thank you so much for the intro, Aaron. Can you guys hear me okay now? How we doing? Thank you so much, Stormy and Tori, as well, for the beautiful land acknowledgement. I am also coming at you from occupied Duwamish territory, known colloquially as Seattle, which Aaron and I both call home. I myself am descended from European colonizers of this territory, and some before it. And want to acknowledge, too, that a lot of the musical and rhetorical traditions that I work with were also created by people of color, Black Americans, queer Americans. Thank you to all those. Continue to acknowledge them. All right. I'm going to try
Hey, Oliver, your mic is a little bit quiet. If,
I'm going to try to
Hey,
get
there
a
we
little
go.
How about
your
now,
guitar
guys?
is plenty loud, but the mic,
All right.
Yeah.
the vocal mic could come up.
Thank you for dealing with our on-the-fly sound check, my friends. And thank you very much to Jack for running sound behind the scenes. Thank you to Aaron and Patrick. All these tunes I wrote during the Trump administration and campaign, but I want to be sure to remind myself and everybody else that Trump didn't come out of nowhere and fascism didn't disappear into thin air on January 20th. I know we all know that, but stay vigilant. I was dreaming of roses, vision about the DNC, like any other Tuesday. There was someone watching me, creeping in the corners. They were climbing up the walls, looking at me sideways, logging all my calls. Yeah, I see you polishing the flagpole, Do you know where that thing's been? Yeah, I see you fixing on a flat screen. Better let the right one in. Gonna draw a big white circle, don't you cross the line. No room for you in here. You're like Christ and Chrysler, made a compromise. If you got the ears to hear, let me make a few things clear. This is not a sing-along, this is not a protest song, this is not the right move on, no short, no long, now truthfully. Listen to the mission bell, tolled in the prison cell. This is both a rebel, yeah, and a crowd, perhaps it's no mystery. You'll never miss those freedoms, said the fortunate son with the right baton. Seemed like you didn't need them, said the armored cop to the failing crops. You build the walls you wail at, said the boots on the top of the ballot box. No one can bring you down now, said the priest when you learned to bow. Hey now, you'll never miss those freedoms, said the fortunate son with the right baton. Seemed like you didn't need them, said the armored cop to the failing crops. You build the walls you wail at, said the boots on the top of the ballot box. No one can bring you down now, said the priest when you learn to bow. This is not a sing-along, this is not a protest song. It's not the right move wrong, no short, no long, now truthfully. Listen to the mission bell, tolling in the prison cell. This is both the rebel yell and a crowd, perhaps no mystery. I'm gonna draw a big white circle, don't you cross the line. If we gotta burn the damn thing down, at least there's a fire to gather round. This is not a sing-along, this is not a protest song. This is not the right, no wrong, no short, no long, now truthfully. Listen to the mission bell, tolling in the prison cell. This is both a rebel, yeah, and a crowd, but hell's no mystery. All right, thanks everybody. Everyone at home for tuning in, thank you so much. And thank you. It's so nice to connect with other artists, other leftists, other comrades, other humans. Anyone in the struggle, for everyone to get to enjoy this beautiful world safely. This next song, I'm actually gonna pause for a second so I can think straight while I speak. I played this song. It's called Whistlin' Dixie. It's a song that I wrote about white supremacy and how kind of mystified that a lot of my people were in the wake of Ferguson and the eruption of the Black Lives Matter movement, and seeing the backlash, really seeing how police often treat people of color in this country. The surprise and shock and pearl clutching, that's still something that our neighbors must contend with. I introduced this song as such when I was playing at a local music venue, which shall remain nameless. And boy, if you want to know about white supremacy, tell a room full of white liberals that it exists and see what kind of response you get. Boy, the emails and the angry phone calls I had to field. It's unbelievable. This is called Whistling Dixie. Of a sinking ship, racing for the ocean floor, blank as the checks that your daddy left. Daddy ain't around no more. Cozy as you get when you lick your lips, thirsty as the soil in summer, fragile as the glass I begin to raise, empty as a toast that you won't remember. Whistling Dixie like a dead language. You don't even know the tune, poor fool. I've been prowling your cotton fields like a ghost that never introduced himself. As the grave, but without its depth, the beat goes on and on, pouring out the windows of a stolen home, asking where the owner's gone. Subtle as the joke that slew the crowd, left them face down in their funny paper, filling up the ditches with their tired bones, bleached like a flag that they won't surrender. Whistling Dixie like a dead language. You don't even know the tune, poor fool. I've been prowling your cotton fields like a ghost that never introduced himself. Whistling Dixie like a bad omen in a bad accent with nothing to lose. Quoting from a Bible, and I'm gonna make a killing, gonna make a million. Everybody knows it's true, it's true. I just want my children to be fed, and I just want my good life left alone, and I just sunrise on Ducky Hole. Got nothing to lose. Yeah, you got nothing to lose. Thanks again, everyone at home. I'm going to do just one more quick one and then leave room for the rest of the great performers that are coming. Thank you again to Lavender Country, Patrick, for hosting, Aaron, my old friend. It's always so good to see you. Stormy and Tori for so beautifully opening the show, and I can't wait to hear the rest of everyone. Stay strong, look out for each other. Much love. This is a song that I wrote when the news of the family separations was coming through a few years ago. I want to thank Stormy and Tori for reminding us that ICE still exists, is still fascist, are still sadists, and are still harming people for the crime of transgressing against arbitrary borders created by colonizers. Keep those people in our hearts. This is called The Trains. Ask me why I'm running in circles, I tell you why the trains all run on time. Everybody move to the edges, the center can't hold. The camera can't hide, there's nowhere to hide. Ask me why the children are hungry, I tell you why the fruit can't quit the vine. Miracles stuck at the border, baby going back to the back of the back of the back of the line. Don't you pay no mind, don't you pay no mind. Everything according to plan, everything according to plan. There's no way in, and there's no way out. There's no way out. Ask me how I keep it together, keep it to my chest like a well-worn dime. Teeth make their way through the tether. It's gonna be a hell of a climb through the crack in the wall, through the crack in the wall. Out where divisions are numbered, numbers get washed in the sand. Some dead voice cracks on the radio, baby. Ask me where the bodies are buried, tell you why the trains all run on time. Spring has a way with the cherries, every little thing she does on company time. Don't you pay no mind. Thank you all so much for listening. You can find me at oliverfranklin.bandcamp.com or facebook.com/oliverfranklinmusic. Thank you all so much for hosting. Stay strong. Take care of each other.
Thank you, Oliver. That was fantastic. There are some songs there I haven't heard before, and I'm really glad that you came to share them today.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Yes, and you can, as Oliver said, you can find his stuff on Bandcamp. Also, check out some of the lovely music videos Oliver has on YouTube. I put a link in the chat for the live video for This Is Not a Sing-Along, which sounds fantastic with saxophone and some accompanists. There's also a wild and somewhat surreal music video for a song called Silas that I think people absolutely should check out. It's a wild ride. It's relevant. It's a relevant song. So yeah, thank you again, Oliver, for sharing your tunes. And I hope that we get to hang out and jam sometime soon.
I want that. Let's make that happen.
Here's to better years.
Truly.
All right. See ya, Oliver. Okie dokie. Let's see. Ooh, I'm also introducing the next person. But first, Patrick, now you haven't heard Oliver before. Did you get to catch the set?
I did get to catch the set. And when can I catch Oliver? I want to catch up with Oliver myself.
Well, as soon as this whole pandemic thing settles down a
As soon
bit, I
as
think
COVID breaks, we should do a show.
I certainly hope we can make that happen sometime soon. All right. Yes. So I'm introducing the next one too. So next up we've got Marike Wildcat Rose and Sky. It's Wildcat Rose, Marike and Sky of Wildcat Rose. My apologies. They are a Seattle-based band. They met Patrick at a show in Seattle and have gone on to play many shows with Lavender Country across the Northwest. Sky and Patrick both grew up in Grays Harbor County in Aberdeen, which some folks may know as a soggy little town in between the ocean and the Olympic National Park. Wildcat Rose released an album in May of 2020 in preparation for summer tours. Cross fingers from your lips to dog's ears. And would like you to know that they still have plenty of records left. All right, let's give it up for Wildcat Rose.
Yay!
Yay!
Darling, hi! Sky, hi! Aberdeen,
Sky high.
baby.
Today's Kurt Cobain's birthday too. Another Aberdeen guy. So
Yeah.
okay, we'll get into it, yeah?
Yes, take it away.
Do it. Hit it.
Okay. Some people say a man is made out of mud. A poor man's made out of muscle and blood. Muscle and blood and skin and bones, with a mind that's weak and a back that's strong. You load 16 tons. What do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. Saying, Peter, don't you call me, 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store. I was born one morning where the sun didn't shine. I picked up my shovel and I walked to the mine. I loaded 16 tons, number 9 coal, and the straw boss said, well, bless my soul, you load 16 tons. What do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. Saying, Peter, don't you call me, 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store. I was born one morning, it was drizzling rain. Fighting and trouble on my middle name. I was racing the canebrake by an old mama line, and oh, a high-toned woman make me walk the line. Load 16 tons, what do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. Saying, Peter, don't you call me, 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store. If you see me coming, better step aside. A lot of men didn't, and a lot of men died. One fist of iron and the other of steel. If the right one don't get you, then the left one will. You load 16 tons, what do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. Saying, Peter, don't you call me, 'cause I can't go. Oh, my soul to the company store. We're just gonna go right into the next one. When I'm thinking about bands that got me interested in like music and politics and that, you know, intersection, it was a lot of punk bands. And so this is a song that was popularized by The Clash, and I'm sure you all know it. Breaking rocks in the hot sun, I fought the law and the law won. I fought the law and the law won. I needed money 'cause I had none. I fought the law and the law won. I fought the law and the law won. I left my baby and it feels so bad. Guess my race is won. She's the best girl that I've ever had. I fought the law and the law won. I fought the law and the law won. Robbing people with a 6-gun. I fought the law and the law won. I fought the law and the law won. I lost my girl and I lost my fun. I fought the law and the law won. I fought the law and the law won. I left my baby and it feels so bad. Guess my race is run. She's the best girl that I've ever had. I fought the law and the law won. 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 But I'm tired of the law winning, so maybe we can revise that song for another time. This next one is one of our originals that wasn't really something we thought was like an anti-fascist song, but over time has sort of taken on that meaning. Sky wrote it when he was living in Long Beach, California. It was sort of like a commentary on being like a struggling artist and living in a community where there was a lot of poverty, you know, juxtaposed with the rich and famous, the glitz and the glam of Los Angeles. And then for me, as someone who moved out west from Virginia, I don't know, just to me, it kind of means like no matter where you are in this country, whether you're from the east or the west or the north or the south, red state, blue state, whatever, there's just so many inequities that if we do not start addressing them, more so than we are now, and if we don't change, then we're just going to be living in this hellscape. So that is what this song is about.
Tennessee, how are you? A night like that stings like a cattle prod. Woke up a stony with 2 marks on my neck. Wouldn't wait a well back to fit the sun. Well, it's been 2 years since I've been round. That dusty trail still leads up to your house. First thing I seen was that big diamond ring. My little bluebell ain't my bluebell anymore. Will Pastor Parker had a lovely daughter. You know I made her sing a time or two. Out on the haystacks behind the old church, while Pa was inside preaching a good word. Well, wild little devil, yes she was. I sure do miss that sweet, sweet taste of fire. When me looking for that little girl, when I learned that she had joined the gospel choir. I'm going right back down California where the skies are empty and their souls are too, and their gates of hell gonna swing wide open and shine all over this land. I'm going right back down
right back down. California, where the skies are empty and their souls are too, and the gates of hell gonna swing wide open and shine all over this land. I'm going right back down. California, where the skies are empty and their souls are too, and the gates of hell gonna swing wide open and shine all over this land. Hell's gonna shine all over this land. Hell's gonna shine all over this land. Try to play the tambourine kind of quiet, but that is a loud instrument.
Yes, it is.
Do we have time for one more? I don't know if you can talk to us while we're here. We have one more, if that's okay.
I said you could go.
Oh, okay. We're gonna do one more. This is a Dead Moon cover, one of our favorite bands from the Pacific Northwest. And I don't know what Fred Cole, meant with the lyrics, but I know what they mean to me, and I think this is an amazing, amazing song. So let's do it. I've crossed the line. I've bent the rules. Home of the brave, red, white, and blue. I've fought the fire running through my head. Stood by and watched, believed in what they said. 40 miles of bad road, a riverbed of potholes. I know where the money goes. Down a shaft of red holes, lowered by my ankles. The dead dogs lie in the afterglow. I've walked the cage, I've been in cuffs, I've run the time. Enough is enough. I know my rights, know when I'm wrong, but nothing seemed to matter until you came along. 40 miles of bad road, a riverbed of potholes. I know where the money goes. Down a shaft of red holes, lowered by my ankles. Where dead dogs lie in the afterglow. I've wrapped my wounds, I've closed my eyes, escaped to nowhere, turning back the tide. I asked the sage, what's it gonna take to get out of Jordan with everything at stake? And I'm 40 miles of bad road, a riverbed of potholes. I know where the money goes. Down the shaft of red holes, lowered by my ankles. The dead dogs lie in the afterglow. In the afterglow. In the afterglow. In the afterglow. Thank you. We're Wildcat Rose. Check us out on our Bandcamp and maybe get one of those records. Yeah, sweet. Hello.
Yeah.
That was
Yay.
delightful. Holy smokes.
Thanks. Thanks for having us on the show. It's so good to see your
Oh,
face.
you know I'd never leave you out, darling. You knew that. You knew that in the beginning.
Thank God.
But listen,
Thank you so
I
much.
have a great little epilogue for your set.
Okay.
Okay, it's
I don't know what's happening.
1953, and I'm like 9 years old, and my little brother is like 8, and we're out in the barn cleaning the barn with loads and loads of manure because it's wintertime. And you keep the cows in the barn for a long time, and they really let go a lot. It's 1953. This is a true story. We're in the barn shoveling shit, and Tennessee Ernie Ford comes on the radio singing 16 tons.
Oh.
And we made up another version, and it went, you loaded 16 tons. What do you get? Another day older and deeper in shit. St. Peter, don't you call me, because I can't go. I owe my soul to the shit pile.
Oh, Patrick.
I couldn't help myself.
No, it's great. I love it. It's terrific.
Hey, he was fabulous, Tennessee Ernie. He was fabulous. He was screamingly popular in the 50s. He was on the radio all the time, and he's one of my favorite people.
Great records.
I love his work. It was a great choice.
Yeah,
Excellent choice.
I love that song so much. So I love your version too.
Aw. Well, thank you for coming in, and I hope that we get to share a bill again someday in the future. Maybe in person next time.
Soon, very soon.
I know. Fingers crossed.
Oh, darlings, we ain't even done, right, Sky?
That's right.
We ain't even done. Okay, cool. I'll see you in the nearness, both of you.
All right. Thank you so much.
Till next time.
Thank you, everyone, for being here. Bye.
Love you.
Bye.
Love you.
All right, Patrick, who we got up next?
Yeah, we got another power couple, Mark Newstetter and Lucy Hudson.
Ooh.
Mark Newstetter came up in Greenwich Village, playing guitar from the time he was like 12, sneaking into the places that he wasn't supposed to be when he was 16 and 17 years old, doing sets with hot people. Mark has made his living in the guitar world, teaching guitar, building guitars, doing songs, playing. He's a fabulous musician and guitar player and songwriter. And he's been running around with Lucy Hudson for a long time. And they recently even moved in together after years of running around together. I think it was mostly for finances. Lucy Hudson is a very talented musician in her own right. Her claim to fame is that she is the leading pianist in the Bay Area for ballet practices. And she plays piano for all the ballet companies in San Francisco while they're rehearsing. She's hot shit herself.
Wow.
And she hopes to get back to work soon as the ballet companies fire back up. Mm-hmm. Both Mark and Lucy played at my wedding, our wedding, actually. JB is standing right here.
Yeah, I think JB was there.
Many years ago. So Mark's written some stuff, and Lucy's going to help him out. And here they are, Mark Newstetter and Lucy Hudson. To my heart.
Hey.
To my heart,
hey,
you
Patrick.
know. Right. Lucy, you look like a farm girl.
He says you look like a farm girl. She doesn't have headphones, so she can't hear you.
That's all right. Thank you for the great introduction, which I heard.
Well, hey, I saw that straw hat and I went back to the barn in my head.
You know, Lucy also grew up around where you live. Partly.
Yes, she did.
And her mom lived there. Her mom grew up there.
Up in the Redmond area, right?
Yeah.
Not far.
Wow.
Just across the water.
A lot of Pacific Northwest connections here.
There you go.
Yeah. They live in the Bay Area now. They've been there for a while.
Yep.
All right.
Go, Mark.
Go, Mark.
Anshel,
Okay.
take it away.
Okay, so this song, I wrote 3 songs for this show. And the first one is actually, speaking of old songs, this is actually based on an old song that was about my hometown. And it's also about someone who is also from my hometown, although he grew up in a different neighborhood than I did. And it's a really old song. I mean, I'm old enough to have grown up with this song, and I don't know, I'm not sure Patrick is old enough to have grown up with this song. Maybe he knows it. Maybe you know it, maybe you don't, but you'll figure out who it's about. East Coast, West Coast, all across the land, the people were divided by a most peculiar man, using lies and provocations like a knife and a fork. He ate America for dinner. He was the con man from New York. As a child, he was well schooled in his family trade, ripping off poor people. He knew he had it made. Hotels and casinos were shelters for his fraud, where he could launder money, the con man from New York. Soon everybody knew him in his old hometown. They all saw right through his con, so he had to move around. He entertained the nation, acting like a clown and a dork. Some would underestimate this con man from New York. He learned to game the system like no one you've ever seen, becoming a celebrity upon the TV screen. Millions he had hypnotized, by them he was adored. They thought he was their savior, this con man from New York. Political pundits, they just laughed when he said that he would run for president and make America great again. Republicans and Democrats thought he was a joke, this loudmouth opportunist, this con man from New York. Standing at the lectern in the primary debates, he said, I could shoot someone on Fifth Avenue and still win in most states. He dared them all to stop him, but they thought it was just talk. They didn't know how far he'd go, this con man from New York. 304 electors gave him the presidency. The nearly 3 million more popular votes were cast for Hillary. If not for her emails, some say she'd have popped the cork. Some say 'twas Putin who put in the fix for the con man from New York. He started breaking treaties and selling off oil drilling deeds. Muslim bans for evangelical fans who ate up his dog whistle tweets. Cozying up to despots, praising white supremacist sorts. Rolling back regulations on discrimination did the con man from New York. And as if things could not get worse, a pandemic soon appeared. Well, he said that it was just a hoax, there was nothing to fear. He said the news media are liars, fake news is all they report. They're enemies of the people, they said the con man from New York. And with the death toll rising, he ran for a second term. It was not surprising that he denied doing anything wrong. So he started spreading rumors, a widespread election fraud for for Biden to win was forbidden by him, the con man from New York. Things came to a climax as the votes started to mount. The Democratic candidate was ahead in the count. He challenged the election with the help of his old cohort, who doubt the word of America's mayor, a con man from New York. Freudian slip. Rudy Giuliani, try everything though he might, could not convince the judges that his boss was in the right. But with the votes against him, the con man in chief had no choice but to instigate insurrection, did the con man from New York. Now thousands of his minions came from far and wide. He told them of the travesty that was going on inside. People stormed the Capitol with baseball bats and pitchforks to do the seditious bidding of the con man from New York. That day was an enormity, the likes that had never been seen. Lives were lost as the riot ran its course in the name of the MAGA regime. Only then did he stay silent. No presidential tweets issued forth until he told the insurgents how much he loved them, the con man from New York. Now first there was impeachment, then there was a trial. The case was made against him, and a majority voted likewise. 'Twas not enough, for it would take a 2/3 majority vote for Congress to find him guilty, the con man from New York. Now he's in Mar-a-Lago, trying to cook up a plan to escape prosecution, just like he's done since his first real estate scam. Some say he's a martyr, that's how well he's done his work, convincing so many that he's not their enemy, the con man from New York. So let this be a lesson to every good citizen. Racist, misogynistic, homophobe, fascist should not become president. His ass belongs in prison, where he'll be watched like a hawk. A long sentence, not minimal, for this common criminal, the con man from New York. Thank you, Lucy. Lucy Hudson, pianist extraordinaire. Okay, the lyrics. You think I have it memorized yet? I just wrote it this week. Okay. Next song is, we're going from the specific to the general here. Lucy will be back. She's, I'm not sure where she is. Anyway, this is a song. Well, you'll hear it. What brought us to this time and place? It isn't too complicated. It's just a tale of the war between the hateful and the hated. Let's not deal in false equivalencies and get down to the truth. When power is the only goal, corruption is absolute. Now we've all heard the saying, every story has two sides. But which side is genuine and which side is a lie? Deception is the devil in
P.T. Barnum's coat. And the lesser of two evils is the one that gets your vote. Kings and queens, jacks and aces, when the cards are dealt, they hide their faces. You never know till you turn them over, then you make the best of what you get. When the choices have been dwindled and the voices have been stifled, is freedom held for ransom at the muzzle of a rifle? Will you close your eyes and pretend that you don't see nothing wrong? It's just business as usual, just the same old song. The floodgates have been straining, the pressure's overwhelming. It was just a matter of time before something had to break. But that's just a symptom of a much deeper problem, 'cause it's those whose pockets contain the least who've got the most at stake. Kings and queens, serfs and slaves, is it sociology or DNA? You lead or you follow, or you're in the way. Those are the choices that you get. They say that's just the way it is, and it's just human nature. It was called eugenics until they changed the nomenclature. Billionaires trade their shares of everybody's soul. We didn't read the fine print when we gave them control. Well, the rule book says that it's all fair when it's paupers versus billionaires, slandering, pandering, gerrymandering till you got nothing left. Disparity grows as money flows to the coffers of corporate royalty. Poverty grows and the banks foreclose another homeless family. Kings and queens, bishops and knights, you're either first or you're last, black or white. You win or you lose. When the game is over, you make the best of what you get. Well, is this what we call freedom? Freedom for the hateful and greedy. Freedom to tell us all the big lie. Freedom to punish the needy. This country has been hijacked by a horde of hoarders who want to turn it into a prison and build a wall around its borders. What brought us to this consequence has all happened before, but history gets rewritten and reality gets ignored. The names are changed, but it's the same. Kings and queens need pawns to play the game. You have a choice, you can use your voice. The game's not over yet. Kings and queens. Okay, well, we got one more. And this, when I, realized, okay, this is about fascism. This is about oppressive regimes. And what really is the source of fascism and oppressive regimes? And on a deep level, it's about conscience. It's about, do you have one or not? do people in power have a conscience? And if not, how? How do they become powerful without one? And that's what this song is about. It's tough to have a conscience when you're face to face with ruthlessness. A conscience makes you vulnerable to someone without one. It's tough to have a conscience around unconscionable nonsense, seeing things that could never be done by somebody with one. It's tough to have empathy when faced with such antipathy. Empathy makes you vulnerable to someone who's got none. And being empathetic where lack of conscience is demonstrable can present some obstacles to someone who's got some. Conscience and empathy mean little to the enemies of friendship and community. Only care about opportunities, but conscience and empathy are a potent combination, and the proper concentration gets you to your destination. There's monstrous demons everywhere who really do not have a care. They'll haunt your heart and keep you scared and try to kill your conscience. They'll challenge you at every turn, try to turn you into one of them whose conscience is long gone, but you know you still got one. Have a conscience. It's tough to feel what others feel, tough to reach beyond your skin, tough to understand. It's tough to have sympathy, tough to see what others see and share with them something they need. If you're someone who's got some conscience and empathy mean little to the enemies of friendship and community. Only care about opportunities, but conscience and empathy are a potent combination. In the proper concentration, they'll get you to your destination. When you're face to face with truthlessness and those who seek out your weaknesses, there ain't no one without some. It's tough to have a conscience, but I'd rather have a conscience than to have an absence where my conscience ought to be. It's tough to have a conscience, but I'd rather have a conscience than to have an absence where my conscience ought to be. think that's it. All out of songs.
Oh no.
Thanks
thank
so
you.
much. Thank you.
That was
Lucy.
beautiful.
Thank you.
There too much.
Thank you.
Mark, you have a lot of humility. It's amazing to see your brilliance and your humility operating in the same place at the same time. Oh my.
Oh my God. Patrick, don't do this to me.
I know you really well, and both of those things are true.
Well,
I love you.
I love you too, Patrick. Thank you so much for being able, to make this happen.
Thank you for joining us.
And
This has
more
been
power.
really great. I really love your voice and your casual charisma.
Oh my
and
God.
Lucy, your piano is absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
It's actually Mark's
I'm
piano.
Oh, Lucy knows gorgeous piano.
It's a Roland
Lucy knows
RD600.
gorgeous piano. There's
Yes.
no getting around that.
Well,
Patrick,
thank y'all
I've
for
been
dropping.
playing a lot for ballet on Zoom. I played at 6:00 this morning for a class in Miami.
Whoa.
Oh boy.
She's the hardest working ballet pianist on the West Coast.
I'm sure she is.
Yeah.
I
That's
have
the
no
difference
doubt.
between. It's the difference between pianist and banjoist. You can't get a banjoist up before 9 a.m.
There you go.
Well,
thank
we
y'all
love
for stopping
having
by.
you, and we'll have you back
Well, I would love to be.
on the nearest train that comes to town.
All right. We'll have to get
And
together
hey,
soon.
we'll be doing Lavender Country soon.
Yes.
As soon as COVID lets us fire up.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Soon.
I got a lot of plans for you, baby.
I'll bet you do. All right.
All right. Well, until next time, take care, y'all.
Thank you, Aaron.
All right, Patrick. It looks like we're down to our last act of today's show. Thank y'all in the audience for being so lovely and hanging in with us and spending your Saturday with us. If you'd like to support the artists that you're seeing before you, go to paypal.me/Aaron J. Shea. That's paypal.me/Aaron J. Shea. I'm collecting all the tips for these lovely artists. Hopefully we can send them a nice little bundle to thank them for spending their time today. And y'all have been absolutely delightful. Hey Jack, have we got our next act lined up? I know we might be a little ahead of schedule today. Surprise.
Here we go. All the way from Portland, Oregon, Ashley Flynn, musician dyke of wonderment and life. Ashley Flynn. She's the backbone, brains, and instigator of Ashley Flynn and the Riveters. They're getting very popular around Portland. The Riveters meaning like as in Rosie the Riveter. Get it? Ashley
I get
Flynn
you.
and the Riveters. Getting to be very good friends with Ashley. We've done a couple of shows together and we can hardly wait to get back on the road and do some more. Ashley, are you there?
I think she's there.
There she is.
Yay!
My dyke buddy, Ashley Flynn.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Yeah. Oh, we got harmonica today too. Cool.
I'm whipping it all out for you, Patrick. And
Yeah,
Aaron, hi
cool.
Aaron.
Yeah. You
Hi,
sure
Ashley.
are.
It's lovely to meet you.
It's nice to meet you too. Thanks for putting this together. Fuck fascism.
Damn right.
Hi Patrick, you look so cute. I miss you. Let's rock in 2021.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Take it
Love
away,
you too
Ashley.
much to go.
Okay, I'm gonna take it away. I'm gonna get us started here. I grew up in Kentucky and was raised on songs by this man who actually, I think, was one of the earlier losses from COVID that we shared. Mr. John Prine. When I was a child, my family would travel down to western Kentucky where my parents were born. Backwards old towns you often remember so many times that my memories are worn. Daddy, won't you take me down to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River where paradise lay? Sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coat train towed it away. Sometimes we travel right down, abandoned prison down by Adrian Hill, where the air smell like snakes and we chew with our pistols. Empty pop bottles is all we would kill. Daddy, won't you take me down to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River where paradise lay? I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train towed it away. Well, the coal company came with the world's biggest shovel, tortured the timber, they forsook the land. They dug so much coal that the earth was forsaken, wrote it all down as the progress of man. Daddy, won't you take me down to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River where paradise lay? Sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train has hauled it away. When I die, let my ashes roll down the Green River, and my soul roll on up to the Rochester Dam. Be halfway to heaven with paradise waiting, 5 miles away from wherever I am. Daddy, won't you take me down to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River where paradise lay? Sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train towed it away. Mr. Peabody's coal train is holding away. All right. Well, I hope everybody's doing all right. We here in Portland, where I live, we had a good snow. We ran out of water. I mean, we didn't run out of water. We ran out of power for about 36 hours, and that was it was cold, that's for sure. But we did have water, and my heart just goes out to everybody in Texas right now. And this is a tune that I wrote after Hurricane Katrina, and unfortunately really hasn't lost its meaning luster, if you know what I mean. I feel like we're stuck in this pattern of not taking care of people. I will say it's clear that the new administration and folks like Beto and AOC are doing some significant leadershiping. So I'm grateful for that. This is called American Dream. See all the pretty girls dancing on the floor, donning ribbons and the lacy pinafores. I always wished I could be, I always wished I could be one of those pretty girls dancing on the floor. I need a revelation, go make some revelry, seek my soul's salvation. I need a place to be. See all the hungry fishers casting out their lines. Thunderstorms are gathering in the sky. They think that water's clean, but that water ain't clean. See all the foolish fishers casting out their lines. I need a revelation, go make some revelry. I seek my soul's salvation. I need a place to be. Seems so simple when you hear that sound. Freight train whistle and the rumbling crowd. West, young man, to find your destiny. I'm all aboard the American dream. See all the hungry people wishing on a star. 100 million miles, I can't count that far. Down here in New Orleans, where's my American dream? See all the hungry people wishing on a star. I need a revelation, go make some revelry. I seek my soul's salvation. I need a place to be. All right. Well, all right, this next tune, it's another tune. This is a newer tune and pandemic inspired. I'm just going to ditch this thing. I'm choking my feels. My older sister lives in Manhattan, and at the beginning of the pandemic, I had no idea that we would be here where we are with almost 500,000 Americans dead. It's a freaking nightmare. I can't really wrap my head around it. And I just, in the beginning, the whole situation in New York City, I couldn't wrap my head around either. And sometimes the best way for me to wrap my head around something is to imagine I'm there or a character in that situation. And this song, in this case, I was thinking about what my sister must be going through. And so, that in combination with the very lack of compassionate, humane response from the people that were in power at the time, they who shall not be named. Anyway, so this is sort of a found notion. The characters include the Lion and the Lamb and the Statue of Liberty. City that never sleeps, empty sidewalks, empty streets, on your fire escape alone, enough to chill you to the bone. Far and wide the sirens sweep, draw breath and start to weep. Sunrise ever feel the same? They ever say your name? Pray the lion and the lamb lay together on the land. A child to lead them on, take them by the hand. We're all longing for some peace, yeah, some kind of sweet relief. Praise the Lord, our souls to keep. In a bed of clouds she sleeps. Where do we go from here? Colliding with our dread and fear. Oh, say, can you still see? I hear crying liberty. Pray the lion and the lamb lay together on the land. Child, lead them on, take them by the hand. We're all longing for some peace, some kind of sweet relief.
of clouds she sleeps, the lion and the lamb, the lion and the lamb, the lion and the lamb, the lion and the lamb. All right, I think I got one more or two more. I'm just gonna roll, and I think we're playing until 5 or 6. Sorry, here PST. Okay, cool. One more. This has been really fun. Thank you so much, Patrick. I love you, Aaron. Super happy to meet you, Jack. I know that we have intermingled before, and all of the musicians that are part of this series. I look forward to orbiting you sometime when we can be closer than 6 feet apart, hopefully at a show. I'm going to play a tune that my band and I put together. I had watched the first Orange Face Clinton debate and whenever the ramp up to the 2016 election, and I was horrified. Like, I think I literally threw up in my mouth and then I bawled because I thought, all right, this guy is going to bring all the racists out from under their disgusting rocks, which ultimately I think is a good thing because at least we know. Nonetheless, it's horrific, but holy shiza, we got a lot of work to do, people, to make this right. So I'm freaking out, and I called Nancy, who is one of our principal bandmates, Nancy Luca. She's guitar slayer, and I was like, "Oh my God, are you watching this? Is this horrid? This is my worst nightmare." Blah blah blah, and she was like, "Dude, chill out, smoke a doob, write a song." So I did, and I was like, "Okay, we have to meet this moment, and we have to overtake it with something much better than what I see in that disgusting thing that's starting to happen. And the best way to do that is with love." And so this song is called appropriately "This Love," and it's inspired by the just his the endless amounts of resistance that people who do love and who value love over greed and fear, inspired by them and by all of you, by Patrick. All right, it's better with my band, but you'll get the point. This love has a bound for glory, rolling through the night. Gonna be one hell of a story. Put out the light. Oh no. Here I come. I got a whole lot of love and I aim to give you some. I'm calling out from under. I'm calling far and wide. I'm calling, come on, baby. I'm calling, don't be shy. Oh no. Here I come. I got a whole lot of loving. Say I got a bad reputation, 'cause I do what I want. Trust me in my imagination, I won't do you wrong, no. This love is like a fire, this love that steals my breath. This love will take you higher, this love will make
sweat, oh yes. Here I come. I got a whole lot of love and I hate to give you some. Say I got a bad reputation 'cause I do what I want. Trust me and my imagination won't do you wrong. No, this love, well, this love, yeah, this love, well, this love. Thanks, everybody. Happy anti-fascist rendezvous revival, anti-fascist revival.
Thank you so much,
We'll see
Ashley.
you
That
in
was
Portland and
fantastic.
soon.
Thank you for joining
I'm
us.
coming
This
down there
was.
to get you.
I think you might be muted.
Sorry, I
Oh,
love
well.
that happens. Aaron, thank you so
Yes.
much. Patrick, I love you and come down here. We're doing a monthly series called the Riveters Roadhouse at Alberta Street Pub, which we're streaming, and also there's audience. So you come, you play, you can stay at my house.
Cool. I'll be there.
All right.
When's
Third
your next show?
Thursdays of every month, but I'll talk to you offline. I'll back channel you with some
Yeah,
dates.
cool. I love to come to Alberta Street Pub. I love it.
Me too.
Yeah, I'll see you there.
Okay.
Au revoir.
Thank you.
Well, Patrick, that brings us to the end of our program today.
That's what we did. Another day, another show. It was a really good show today.
Yeah, this was a banger. Thank y'all for coming by and supporting these artists. If you haven't tipped already, again, the link, we'll have it in the chat. It's also in the bio information on Facebook and on YouTube. PayPal.me/Aaron J. Shea if you want some of the money to go to these lovely artists. Also support your local mutual aid group in taking care of people. It's one of the most anti-fascist things you can do. Take care of your community and organize your community. Is there any? Did we want to? Did you want to? You want to send anybody off with some feelings and words, Patrick? Do we want to have a curtain call or anything?
I think that was a great wrap up right there. I think I'll leave it alone till next time.
All right. Well, we're here every Saturday at 3 p.m. at this location, wherever you're watching us on Facebook or YouTube, or if you're pirating us somehow. Greetings to the dark web. Thank you for coming by.
Tell your mom, tell your pa.
Yeah, tell your
them
friends.
I'm looking.
Tell your quarantine pod. Tell your affinity group. Tell your protest buddies. Bring them on down to the online corral, and we'll have a good time next week.
Yeah, see you there and then.
All right. Till next time, y'all.
Bye,
Take
everybody.
care.
Till next week. We'll see you when you get there.